with you. So for this class tonight, you'll need a foam roller. I have a short one. You can have a long one. I have a light resistance loop. You can also use one with a handle. And then having a block close by and or a medium to light dumbbell. If you need a blanket for your knees, have that close by. And we will get started. So tonight we are working on rotation of the spine. So our spine moves in 6 different ways, but the focus of tonight is rotation. Sometimes we'll rotate it separate from the pelvis. Sometimes the pelvis will rotate with the spine. So look for that throughout the class. And we are going to get started lying on our side. So have your foam roller close by. If you don't have a foam roller, you can use a block. You can also use the block for your head, which I'm going to do. So we're going to start lying on our right side. So position yourself so that from your right heel all the way to your right shoulder makes one straight line. And you're resting on the side of your rib cage, so you're neither rocked back nor rocked forward. Then you're going to take the foam roller or a block and place the knee at about hip height, resting the lower leg on the foam roller. If you have a long one, you can rest your arch on the foam roller as well. And then maybe a blanket or a block for your head. We're going to start by taking our left hand, lifting our rib cage off the floor, placing the hand underneath the rib cage, and then lower the rib cage onto your hand. So as always, we're going to start just first by breath work and using it with this rotation. So use your hand to tug your rib cage forward towards the front edge of the mat or the mat edge that you're facing. Walk your right shoulder forward a little bit. Let the head start to roll up towards the sky. Inhale. And as you exhale, start to use your hand and your forearm to roll the rib cage towards the floor behind you. The knee's going to stay stacked and your hip's going to stay stacked. So we are rotating the rib cage separate from our pelvis. So with each exhale, you can maybe rotate a little bit more. We're not forcing this rotation. We're easing in, rotating, not just by dropping the shoulder back, but by actually tugging the right side of your rib cage forward so that the left side of your rib cage rotates backwards. You may move a little bit more with each exhale. We're going to take about 3 more breaths. Keeping the knee and the foot pressing down into the foam roller, help to stabilize the pelvis forward or facing the long edge of your mat. Continue to look up at the sky. If you need to adjust the block or the blanket so that your head can gaze up, you're going to lift your left arm straight up. So the wrist is stacked right over your shoulder. You're looking at your thumb. Turn the thumb out to the left about 45 degrees. Look at the direction that the thumb is pointing, and you're going to reach your left arm in that direction. So it's not right beside your ear. It's out away from your ear about 45 degrees. Stretch your fingers towards the corner of your room. Reach the thumb, spread the thumb down towards the floor, and then reach your right arm straight up towards the sky. So we are reaching really strongly through our fingertips. Spread your fingers as wide as possible and reach through your fingertips. So this is active. We're still breathing. We're going to hold for 2 more breaths. Continue to press your left knee down into the foam roller. Right lower body is strongly pressing down into the floor. Drop the right arm back down towards the ground, bend your elbow, and then stack your left arm on top of your right. So palms touch. And then imagine you're pulling back a bow and arrow. So slide your left knuckle all the way up your arm, across your chest. Allow the elbow now to reach back. Open your left arm behind you. Bend the elbow and slide the knuckle back down the right arm. We're going to do that 4 more times. So pull back as you exhale, twist open. Let the arm extend behind you. Bend the elbow, slide the knuckle back down your forearm. 2 more times, exhaling to twist, continuing to press left knee into the foam roller. Last time, on your own, exhale to twist. Inhale to twist back open or back closed. Good. Remove the foam roller for a second. Bring the right knee forward. And then bring the foam roller. If you don't have a foam roller, bring the block between your knees. So you're going to squeeze the knees towards each other. We're going to rotate open and kind of slide, shimmy your right arm forward so that both shoulders are close to the ground. Squeeze the block hard, and on your next exhale, twist so that you're on your back. Keep both palms facing up and press the backs of the arms down to the ground. Inhale here. As you exhale, knees go about halfway to the right. Your shoulder blades stay on the ground. Inhale back to center. Exhale, squeeze the block so we're rotating the pelvis separate from the rib cage. Bring the knees back above the hips. Exhale again to the right. So we're just going to the right this time. Come back to center. Exhale to the right. Back to center. Exhale to the right. Look down at your knees. Make sure your knees are flush, and then straighten your left leg for a count of 1, 2. Keep the left shoulder blade on the ground. 3, 4. Keep rolling the rib cage towards the floor. Bend the knee. Come back in. Release the foam roller and take it off to the left side of your mat. Pause and look at me for a second, because this is something you probably have not done. So we're going to come into a bridge, but we're going to add a twist. So we're going to twist to the right. So your right hand is going to be down on the ground. Your left hand is going to straight up towards the sky. The important part is that you are going to look at your left thumb the whole time. So as you lift up into bridge, move your thumb towards the floor off to the right. Look at your thumb, and then come back down. I'm going to show you one more time, and then we're going to do 6 of these. So right hand presses down, hips press up. Watch your thumb as you take it to the floor towards the right, and come down. So let's try that together. So heels in line with your hips. You can have them a little wider than your hips. Right hand presses hard into the floor. You're going to roll onto your right shoulder. So with an inhale, lift your hips and take the left hand over to the right. Watch the thumb the whole time. 2, watch the thumb as you take it to the floor. 3, 4, 5. Last one. Good. Release the hips. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Take the arms wide. Feet down. And just windshield wiper your knees side to side. Great. We're going to do those things all on the other side now. So foam roller should be on the left side of your mat. come to lie on your left side. You can have a block or a blanket under your head if that's more comfortable for you. And then stack your right knee on the foam roller. From your left heel all the way to your left shoulder makes a straight line. So make sure you're neither rock forward nor back. Lift your rib cage off the floor, slide your hand underneath. As you do, tug it slightly forward and shimmy that left shoulder forward. And first, we're going to breathe. So as you inhale, feel your rib cage expand into your fingers on the floor. And as you exhale, each exhale, you can start to rotate your right side of your rib cage to the floor behind you. And the left side can slide forward. You can use your hands to kind of create more of that rotation. So just like on the other side, each exhale, you can twist a little deeper, not forcing. You're using gravity to your advantage. But the right knee stays stacked on the foam roller and the pelvis stays still. And once you've reached kind of your max here, stretch your right arm so that your wrist is directly above your shoulder. Look up at your thumb. Turn your thumb off to the right about 45 degrees. Look at the direction that your thumb is pointing. That's the direction you're going to reach your arm. The arm doesn't come to the floor, right? You're just trying to stretch so that you get kind of this cross line. So reach the fingers, spread the fingers wide, then reach left arm up towards the sky. And we're not just dropping, we're keeping everything very strong by reaching through our fingertips. Take 3 more deep breaths. Each inhalation, trying to breathe low into your lungs. Each exhalation, maybe allowing yourself to twist a little bit more. Release the left arm back down to the ground. And then roll to stack your right arm on top of your left arm. So palms touch as if you're pulling back that bow and arrow. Scrape your right knuckles all along your arm, your chest. The elbow reaches behind you to twist, and then arm stretches long behind you. Then bend the elbow and bring the hand back down your whole arm. We'll do 4 more. Each time you exhale, twist open, find that rotation in the spine, extend the arm behind you. Then bend, take it across your chest and down your full arm. 2 more or 3 more. On your own, each time twist open, press your knee down into your foam roller in order to help stabilize your pelvis and that facing forward neutral position. Good. Close back towards your left arm. For a second, take the knee off of the foam roller, then the right knee or the left knee forward, and then stack the right knee on top. Move the block out of the way. Roll open and shimmy to where you feel almost that your right shoulder blade is on the ground. It's hard to do that with your knees all the way on the ground. Inhale through your nose deep into your lungs. And as you exhale, roll onto your back. Squeeze the block between your thighs, palms face up, arms are T to the body. Keep the right shoulder blade on the ground as you take your knees about halfway towards the floor. Inhale, come back to center. So it's not a keep going. Each time you exhale, twist. And as you inhale, draw it back in. It's not important how far you go towards the floor. What is important is, can you rotate your pelvis separate from your rib cage? So trying to keep the right shoulder blade on the ground, The rib cage will come off slightly. You're resisting it towards the ground. It'll come off slightly. Let's twist one more time to the left. Hold. Look at your knees. Make sure the front of your knees are flush. And then straighten your right leg. Hold for 5. Keep pulling the rib cage towards the floor, the right side of the rib cage towards the floor. Keep squeezing the block between the knees. Bend the knee. Roll back to center. Release the block between your knees. Bring both feet to the floor. We're going into that bridge with a twist. So this time, left hand presses hard into the floor. Feet stay about hip distance or slightly wider than hips. Reach your right hand so that your wrist is above your shoulder. And as you lift your hips with your gaze, follow your thumb. Reach your thumb off to the left. And then bring the hips back down. So the reason that we want to follow the thumb is because we want our neck to stay in a comfortable position. So as we follow the thumb, the gaze, the head kind of goes in the direction that we want as we roll onto our left shoulder. We're going to do one more. Inhale, exhale down. Draw both knees in towards your hips. Release the low back slightly. Not slightly, release the low back. Then release the feet to the floor. Feet wide, windshield wiper, knees side to side. Roll over to one side and press yourself up. We're going to come into a feet will be together in the back and knees will be wide. We're going to take the foam roller off in front of our right knee. We're going to take a band if you have a band. If you don't have a band, it's not a big deal. You're going to take it behind your back. And if you, just to look, I have them, but like right below the tips of my shoulder blade. Or you can think like sports bras. So knees are wide. We're going to take right hand down to the ground. The foam roller is slightly off to the right. You're going to take the back of your left hand on top of the foam roller. Lift your chest away from the floor, pressing the back up into the band. As you exhale, twist. And as you inhale, come back up. So exhale, twist, push back up. So if you don't have a foam roller or you don't have a band, you can just do this without. If you have a foam roller, the more you push the back of your hand and forearm into the foam roller, the more active this is going to be for you. One more. Come up. Keep the band behind your back. You can take the bands if they don't have handles. If you have a loop, you can take the bands inside the palms of your hands. Step your right foot forward. Bring both arms out in front of you. Right arm is going to reach behind you. And as you exhale, close forward. Inhale, twist open. Exhale, twist close. Inhale, twist open. Each time you twist, try to keep pushing your upper back into the band. So you should feel as if the entire rib cage or back stays attached as you twist open and close. One more. Hold here, reach through your fingers. Twist close. Remove the band. Cross. Right hand towards right shoulder. Left hand comes in front. We're going to take our right foot a little wider to have a more stable base. So we're going to do a full rotation of the spine. So the first thing we're going to do is to move into flexion. So drop your chin towards your chest and then around your upper back and around a little bit into the lower back, pushing the left hip forward. So we're not pushing the hips back. We're keeping the hips forward, keeping it in our spine. Then look at your right knee. Turn your chest towards your right knee. So turning as far towards the right as you can. Then your right shoulder is going to drop towards the ground. Rotate your chest towards the sky. And then rotate your head backwards. Keep looking, chin towards throat. Side bend to the left. Rotate chest towards the left side of the ground. Then round through the center and stack your spine. We'll go 2 more times in that direction. So first, chin towards throat. Round through your upper back. Keep pushing your left hip forward. Round as far forward as you can without pushing your hips back. Look at your right knee. Turn your chest towards your right knee. Then drop your right shoulder to the ground. Then start to aim your chest up towards the sky. Circle back. Left shoulder to the ground. Rotate your chest towards the ground to the left. Rotate through center. And then stack all the way up. One more time, round forward. Look at your knee, rotate your chest towards your knee. Right shoulder towards the ground. Gaze up, chest towards the sky, rotate backward. Rotate to the left. Rotate forward and stack. Good. We're going to step the right foot all the way out to the side. So this is where you can use either your block or a handheld weight. I'm going to take the block in the left hand and press it straight up towards the sky. Right hand is going to come inside of the right knee, gaze up towards the block, and then come straight back up. Exhale, rotate chest towards the sky, gaze up towards the block, rotate back up. 3 more. Each time you take the hand inside of your right foot, you're rotating the spine to gaze up towards the block. Bend the elbow, drop the block off, hands to the ground in front of your left knee, stack your right knee down beside your left. Toes touch, knees wide, sit the hips back towards the heel, rotate, left arm in front of your left palm in front of your right knee, elbow, head to the ground. Stack your right hand in your lower back, rotate your chest open. Make a fist with your left hand. Press the back of your fist into the floor. Maybe press down through your hand to lift your entire upper body up. Gaze up. Bend the elbow to the ground, forehead to the ground. Crawl the hands forward and take a few breaths in child's pose. If you want to stay still, stay still. If you want to rock the hips side to side, rock the hips side to side. So as usual, we're building stability from the ground up. Having the knees on the floor helps to build that connection between being able to stabilize in your lower body so that you can move your upper body, your rib cage, separate from your pelvis. Good. So we're going to take the foam roller off to the left side of your knee. If you have a band, take the band, wrap it around your back, right below the tips of your shoulder blades. You're going to come forward. So now you're stacking your knee or your hips above your knees. Left palm slightly in front of your foam roller. Bring the back of your right hand to the foam roller. So start to push down into the foam roller as you twist and curl up. So as we're doing this, we're trying to keep the pelvis still and only twist the rib cage. The more you push into the foam roller, the stronger that rotation is in your spine. The more you round the upper back or the rib cage into the band, the more you're feeling that rotation in your spine. Come up. You're going to bring the left knee forward. Keep the band where it is. Stretch both arms out in front of you. And imagine you're opening up like a book to the left and then twisting forward. So rotate open and twist forward. Keep reaching the right hand forward as you rotate your whole upper body back. Left arm reaches behind you. One more, stay open, reach through your hands. So pelvis squares forward, squeeze your inner thighs together. Rotate forward. Remove the band. Move the foam roller out of the way. We are done with it. Step your left foot a little wider. Take your left hand across, right hand across. Grab the front of your shoulder and then bring the other hand to the opposite shoulder. We're going to do that rotation the whole time. You're thinking pelvis stays still. So squeeze your inner thighs together. Round chin to throat. Round through upper back. Keep pushing right hip forward. So you're just moving your spine. Look at your left knee. Twist your chest towards your left knee. Drop your left shoulder towards the ground. Then start to open your chest towards the sky. Go back. Right shoulder towards the ground. Chest towards the ground. Rotate forward. And then stack your spine. 2 more times. So roll forward. Keep squeezing the right glute. Chest towards knee. Left shoulder towards the floor. Gaze up. Rotate back. Right shoulder to the ground. Rotate your chest to the right. Then rotate through the center to stack. See if we can do this last one on your own. So stabilize the lower body and go through that rotation. Notice those parts that are a little stiff. Just recognize them. Good. Take your left foot all the way out to the side. So now our left heel is in line with our left knee. Take the block in your right hand and press the right hand right above your right shoulder. Left hand is going to plant inside of your left foot, gaze up towards the block, and then twist to rotate open. So we're rotating the spine to gaze up, and then we're coming to stack. 3 more. These windmills are great. We're adding rotation in a slightly different way. than all the other ways we've done so far. Last one. Come up. Remove the block. You can place it off towards the front edge of your mat. Bring both knees together. And then toes continue to touch, knees wide. Sit your hips back towards your heels. We're going to twist to the left. So thread the needle. Right shoulder, right ear comes to the ground. Swing your left arm behind to your lower back. Make a fist, a strong fist with your right hand. Press the back of the fist into the ground. Maybe rise up, adding a little load to your twist. So keep pressing the fist into the ground. One more breath. And then exhale, release elbow, head. Crawl both hands forward. Either staying still in child's pose or shifting the hips side to side. Good. Inhale, shift forward to tabletop. Tuck the toes under. Spread your fingers really wide. So have a nice, strong, firm base. Feel all 10 knuckles of your fingers pressing hard into the ground and move your chest away from the floor. Tuck your toes under. We're going to take just a few cat-cows to move the spine and just that flexion and extension. To give it a small break from rotation. But what you might find as you cycle through cat-cow is that moving the spine on rotation allows for more extension and more flexion. So more of that back bend and then rounding forward into cat pose, feeling it throughout your entire spine. Inhale into cow. Lift your lower belly away from the floor. Find neutral. Keep the toes tucked under. Hover the knees off the floor. Swing the knees to the left and then right. So now we're moving the pelvis, trying to minimize how much movement we find in the upper body. So the lower part of the rib cage is twisting slightly with the pelvis, but the shoulders stay stacked above your wrist. Take a break. Toes touch, knees wide, sit back. Inhale, shift forward back to that tabletop position. Tuck the toes under. Hover the knees into bear again. You're going to keep your knees bent. It's like you're going back in a down dog, but with knees bent. Good. Shift forward, hover. Exhale, keep the knees bent. Shift back, bear. Shift forward. Exhale, back. One more time, shift forward, knees hover. Exhale, shift back. Shift forward, drop the knees to the ground, toes touch, knees wide, shift the hips back. So watch for a minute. We're going to put these two things together. So low bear is this, high bear is this. We're going to add a rotation now in our upper body. So we're going to go like this and then tap your one hand to your opposite foot, rotating now the rib cage towards the opposite knee. So come to tabletop, tuck the toes under, push the floor away, so balls of your knuckles all press down. Find stability in your core, hover your knees. As you reach back, right hand reaches towards left foot, chest reaches towards left knee. Shift forward to bear. Shift back, high bear, reach, switch arms. Twist, gaze under the armpit of the hand that stays on the ground. Each time you reach the hand towards the opposite foot. So one more, each side, and then press back into down dog. So straighten the knees, release the heels towards the ground, and breathe. I don't know about you, but that got my heart rate up. I'm a little warm. Come up onto your toes. Slight bend of your knees. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Keep the knees bent. Release the crown of your head towards the floor. Grab the opposite elbow with your hands. Look underneath your right armpit and then rotate your right elbow forward, dropping your left elbow towards your right knee. Come back down. Crown of the head towards the floor. Start to reach your left elbow away from your left knee, twisting your right elbow toward your right knee, gaze under your left arm. Release back to center. Hands to the floor. Roll the spine up one vertebrae at a time. Awesome. Take your feet wider than your hips. Inhale, reach both arms over your head. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Press through your feet. Keep your pelvis still as you lean to the right. So push the rib cage off to the left. Gaze down towards your right foot, and then aim your chest towards your right foot. Pelvis continues to square forward. Look under your left arm. Rotate your chest up. Pelvis continues to square forward. Look down at the right. Rotate down. Look up at the left. Rotate up. One more time. Look down. Rotate down. Look up. Rotate up. Pull up. Soften your knees. Drop to the right, then rotate your chest. Swing as you fold, and then rotate up, straighten the legs. Side bend. Bend the knees, rotate chest towards the right foot. Swing through the center. Rotate up through the left, and then stack. Release the arms. Take a breath. We'll do that on the other side. So inhale, reach the arms up. You're going to grab your right wrist with your left hand. Firm your legs. Press the feet down into the ground. Steady the pelvis. And as you exhale, side bend to the left. Notice if the pelvis shifts off, keep it stacked. Look down towards the left side of your foot and then aim your chest towards that same way. Gaze up under your right arm, then aim the chest in the same way. Gaze down towards the left, twist the chest the way your gaze is shifted, hips squared forward. Gaze under your right, then twist open to the right. Last time down, gaze down. Last time up, gaze up. Come out of that. Soft bend of your knees. Side bend, twist the chest, make that circle drop all the way through, then stack as you come up. Bend the knees, side bend, chest, drop off to the right or left, and then come up through your right. Awesome. Release it down. Grab your band if you have one. If you do not have a band, you can use a weight for this. If you don't have a weight, you can simply use a block in your hand. So we are going to place, if you have a loop, you're going to place your right foot to secure the band under the arch of your foot. If you have one with handles, place the band, not the handle, under your foot, because you will want to create tension in the band. And if you put the handle around your foot and you put the handle around your hand, you won't be able to do that. So even with the loop, for this first part, we're going to have to create more tension. So if you have a loop, loop it around your hand and then loop it a second time to create a lot of tension in your band. We're going to step the left foot back. You're going to pull the left hand towards your left shoulder. As you lunge, you're going to twist towards your right knee, right hip hugs in. As you exhale, come back up to stand. And as you can see, it creates a lot of need for stability. So twist, let your belly roll towards your right thigh. And as you exhale, stand up strong. So lunge, back knee towards the floor, twist. Exhale, twist, open, face forward. We'll do 3 more, so 6 total. Twist towards, stand back up. Twist towards, stand back up. Inhale to go down. Exhale to come up. Good. Let some tension go on the band. Hold your hand at your shoulder. We're going to lunge. And then we're going to come to stand on the right foot. Left knee comes forward. Punch. Left hand up towards this guy. Now we're using those same muscles to steady us. Take the leg back. Lunge and twist. Squeeze the thighs together. Stand. And maybe punch the hand up towards this guy. Step back, twist. Stand. Back. Twist. 2 more. Stand. Shoulder. Step back. Lunge. Last one. Stand. Come back. Release the band. Come into a chair pose. Knees press out into your hands. Feel how that activates your outer hips. Keep that activation, hands to your heart. Keep the hips where they are. Twist to the right and bring the left elbow outside of your right knee. Breathe. Shift forward. Inhale, stand all the way up. Heel toe the feet wide. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Bend the knees slightly. Lift and spread your sit bones. And then press the front of your leg bones towards the wall behind you. So moving towards leg straight. Right hand on our left hand on the ground. Twist open to the right. Lift your left hand towards the sky. And just notice how this feels. Oftentimes, this pose in yoga is really challenging for me. But we've created a lot of mobility in our spine, as well as stability. So just notice how this position feels for you. And if you've done this pose before, notice how it feels different than it usually does. Good, release both hands back to the floor. Heel toe your feet in. And then step back into plank. Bend the knees to the floor. Roll open. Left hand stays on the ground. Right hand reaches up towards the sky. Push the hand down and move your shoulder away from your ear. Keep your hips stacked. Rotate your chest towards the sky. Reach underneath your right arm. Rotate open. So as you exhale, twist upper body. Inhale, rotate upper body towards the sky. 3 more. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open. Last time, twist. Inhale, open. Shift. Forward. Toes touch. Knees wide. Release your hips towards your heels, forehead towards the floor. Shift your hips side to side. Shift forward to tabletop. Tuck the toes under. Spread your fingers wide. Push your chest away from the floor. Find neutral in your spine so it's neither collapsed nor rounded. Find neutral. Hover your knees, low bear. As you go back to high bear, reach right hand outside of left foot. Shift forward, low bear. Shift back, reach left hand outside of right foot. Left, yeah. Do 2 more each side. After you get used to it, start to find that rotation, not just by reaching the arm, but also gazing under the armpit of the hand that stays on the ground. Hips reach straight back so the pelvis stays in neutral, then come back to downward facing dog. Bend the knees. Walk the hands back towards the feet. Grab the opposite elbow that you did the last time, so it should feel a little weird. And then as you rotate towards your right chest, peel your right arm away. Lower back down. As you rotate towards your left knee, peel the chest open to the left. Good. 1 more each side. Release. Hands to the floor. Keep the knees bent as you stack the spine. Inhale, reach both arms over your head. Turn your left palm away from you. Your bicep rolls more towards your ear. Exhale, side bend to the right. Turn your chest towards the right. Bend the knees, swing through, and stack. Side bend to the right. Turn your chest to the right. Bend your knees. Fold, swing through, stack up on the left. 1 more time, side bend to the right. Chest to the right. Bend the knees, roll down through the center. Release. Close your eyes. Pause, breathe. Just notice what you're feeling. And then inhale, reach both arms up. Turn your right palm away so the thumb faces forward. Grab with your left hand and kind of rotate that palm forward with your left thumb. Side bend to the left. Turn your chest to the left. Bend your knees, swing through. Rotate open. 2 more times. Side bend, twist, rotate. Side bend, twist, rotate. Arms down. We're going to grab the band and repeat everything that we did on the right side to the left side. So the band goes underneath the arch of your left foot. You hold the opposite end of the band in your right hand, creating a little bit more tension than a long loop. Step your right foot back wide enough that you can square the hips forward. Hold the hand at your shoulder. As you lunge, you're going to allow that band to pull you into a twist. And as you come up, you're going to square the foot or the chest forward. Right knee or left knee stays bent the whole time. Twist and lunge. Plug the hips in to come upright. We have 3 more, so 6 total. Try to keep the hips squared forward. As you go into that lunge, the band stays at the shoulder the whole time, building tension. Good. Let the tension go on the band. Then we're going to come to that step. So we're going to twist as we go into the lunge. We're going to balance on the left foot. Maybe you punch the left hand or right hand up towards this guy. Bring it back down. Step back. Lunge. As you step, knee comes forward, hand to the sky. Good. Elbow down. Step back as you lunge. Twist. Step. Lunge. 3 more. Step. Twist. Press. Press. 2 more. Hard work. Y'all are doing great. Last one. Good. Foot to the ground. Release the band. Feet can be up to hip distance apart, or feet can touch. Sit back into chair pose. Press the knees out into the hands. Feel the stability in the outer hip. Keep the pelvis still, hands to heart. Twist to the left. Right elbow outside of left knee. Send the right hip back. Send the heart towards your thumb. Inhale, shift forward. Hands to the ground, heel toe, feet wide. Bend the knees slightly. Lift and spread your sit bones towards the sky. From the front of the thighs, sending the legs more towards straight. Keep your right hand on the ground underneath your heart. Bring your left hand to your lower back and then twist open to the left. Press to the inner edges of your feet. Press to the outer edges of your feet. Steady your pelvis. Rotate your rib cage and breathe. Release both hands to the ground. Heel toe, feet in. And then one knee at a time, come down to the floor. Toes touch, knees wide, send the hips back towards the heels. Forehead towards the ground. Either breathe in stillness or let your hips shift side to side. I'm going to demonstrate this next thing for you. So rise up so you can see. We're going to practice some rolling, but segmentally. So lower body first, and then upper body. So you'll start in this X position. When I say bend the knee towards the chest, you'll bend it up. And then you'll reach the right knee or the right foot over to the side. And then you'll draw it back in. So you'll do that a few times, feeling just the lower body move. And then I'll say, put that leg down and reach right arm up and then over to the left. And you're trying to keep now lower body on the ground. So you're just rotating in and out of that. So this is more of a relaxing kind of stretch. So let it be You don't have to force anything. So come on to your back. Bring your arms and legs into a starfish position. We'll begin with the right knee. So bend the right knee towards your right shoulder. Slide your left leg in slightly. You're going to reach the right knee over to the left, straighten it, and let it pull you. Your right shoulder might come off a little bit, but ease it down. And then come back. So you're going to rock to the right, straighten the leg, bend the knee as you draw it back, and you roll back onto your back. Let's do 3 more like that. Just trying to create a little bit of ease. Next time you take your leg over, stay and take a few breaths in this position. Soften your right shoulder towards the ground. It might be off, and that's okay. Bend your right knee, roll back onto your back, starfish your legs out. Now we're going to lift the right arm straight above your right shoulder. The more you look with your gaze where your thumb goes, the more you're going to twist. So keep your right hip on the ground. Reach like you're taking it over towards your left hand. It's not quite to your left hand. But as you rotate the upper, try to stay heavy in your right leg and hip to keep the right hip on the ground. When you roll the next time, stay. Touch your fingertips to the floor and take a couple of breaths. I'm gazing right into my left elbow. Not elbow, armpit. Good, roll back down. And we'll complete this on the other side. So bring your right leg in slightly, bend your left knee towards your left shoulder. Keep your shoulder blades as close to the ground as you can as you reach and straighten your left leg off to the right. Bend the knee as you draw it back in. Let's do 4 more. Trying to glue your left shoulder blade to the ground. Straighten the leg off to the right. And pause here for just a few breaths. Each exhale, try to melt your left shoulder blade towards the ground. Bend the knee, draw back in. Starfish the legs wide, and now we'll go left arm. So reach the fingertips up towards the sky. You're going to follow your gaze with your thumb. Stretch, lifting left shoulder off the ground, keeping your left hip on the ground. Rotate open. Each time I rotate towards the right, I'm looking at my right armpit to help pull me a little deeper into that upper body rotation, upper body rolling pattern. Next time you twist, hold, gaze down right into your right armpit. Cup your fingertips to the floor. And take just a few breaths. Let your head be heavy. I'm resting my chin right in my armpit too. Roll back down. Bend the knees, let the knees knock in towards each other. Rest one hand on your lower belly, one hand on your heart. Take 5 low, meaning deep into your diaphragm breath. Each exhale, stretch it out long. Two more breaths. On your last exhale, roll and rest on your side. And just notice what you feel in your spine and your hips. Even though this class was focused on spinal rotation, it still was a lot of work on our hips. That ability to stabilize the pelvis. We're doing all these movements. It's great for creating stability in the hip and the pelvis so that the hip joint can also be stable. And as you're ready, use your hands to slowly press yourself up. Come to a seated position. Take just a gentle twist of the upper body, just a few times in each direction, for nothing other than to see how well are you able to rotate the trunk separate from the pelvis. And then come to center and just relax. And this concludes our mobility class on rotation of the spine. More of that disassociating the pelvis and the rib cage so that they can move separately from each other. Something we rarely do and something that's really important. It's great for hip health. It's great for spinal health. It's great for shoulder health. All of these things kind of combine into making us better movers so we can be more strong and stable in everything that we do. So thanks so much.